Hi guys, I'm Billanidus.
And I'm Indii.
And today's topic is weddings, arranged marriages and nosy auntie. Make sure there's emphasis on nosy auntie.
So today we have Shugi from Mademydate.
Hi.
I want to know so many juicy stories from you.
I bet she's got loads.
How long is this podcast?
I want to know everything. But first and foremost, how have you been and how did you find lockdown?
Yeah, I've been good, thanks. It's so nice to be up in the Midlands. Lockdown has been a very mixed bag for me, I have to say. On one hand, love it. Don't need to make excuses for people that you don't want to meet.
Oh, facts.
So good. On the other hand, totally missed socialising and going out and, you know, all of that side of things.
Feels like everyone really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been a long, more than a year. Imagine that a whole year not being able to actually go anywhere properly, going places with
I get
with
anxious when I go like
restrictions.
Tesco's. I just look around like, people?
No,
Oh my god,
people do generally look a bit funny at you when you get too close to them now.
Yeah, they do,
my God,
don't
yeah,
they?
Like you get into a certain space, they're like, yo, what are you doing? It's like,
Yeah,
bro, I'm just trying to
like,
grab the strawberries, bro. Like, I don't want to be near you, I'm going to strawberries. You're in my way, mate. Like, just move, innit? Go to the blueberry section, innit? Strawberries and that. Just like,
I know, it's crazy. And did you ever think vaccinated or not vaccinated would be a dating filter? How
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that's a mad thing, that is.
Wait, this is the first time I'm hearing this.
Oh my God, where have you been?
It's-
First thing you ask, so are we masking up on this day? Or
Wow.
That's people for you, man.
That's taking it on another.
I think the whole
okay.
time before about even couples now when they go out, when they're on dates, actual couples who are married are still on this kind of mass flex. I'm like, mate, you live in the same house. You're sitting in a park bench. You're sitting on the grass, and you're wearing a mask. It's just
crazy. And the best thing is when you go to a wedding and you get a matching mask, and all the girls' side have one colour and all the boys have another.
I've seen pictures of
that.
that. I don't know how I feel about that. I just wouldn't go. I just wouldn't go because, I don't know, I think I just feel really anxious about it because you just know something's not right. You just know, and it's like, depending on whatever wedding it is, especially if it's like in a gurdwara, you've got so many people there.
Have you been to any recently? Have you been to any
Absolutely
anywhere
not.
recently?
Recently, and we all got gold matching masks that you couldn't breathe in at all. So
This is why I wouldn't,
How do you feel in this whole kind of like, there's less people there now? There's not as many people back in the day.
Yeah.
I think it's good in the sense of less is more now.
Less is more.
Because if you look down on a sheet of paper, you take out all the riffraff. I don't mean in a bad way, I don't mean people are riffraff. I'm saying when you look on the paper and you think, these people mean the most to me, I want them there. Now you can, on the point of high COVID. So therefore we're limited numbers.
That's your excuse.
100%. I actually feel sorry for anybody who's organising a wedding now that there's more
Yeah,
restrictions.
of course.
Having to explain, you know, having to get everybody there, whereas like 2 months ago you could have said, I'm really sorry, auntie, but you know, 30 people max, what can we do?
You're high risk. Stay home.
But it's good though because now, one, it's cheaper. Second of all, that you don't have to meet people you don't want to meet. Thirdly, they save money to a point where any money that's now kept or saved or something, they can give to the couple. So I tell you what, here's some extra money for you because it didn't cost us 50k or 60k or 80k. It cost us, I don't know how much a wedding costs right now because of the COVID.
Well, definitely nowhere near that.
But what would you say, 25%? 30%?
Of the cost?
Yeah.
It's definitely much, much less than it was before, but people are having a lot more intimate weddings and actually spending more per head because of that as well.
So they still want the quality, like, they're probably spending more money on the quality.
Well, think about it, if you had to feed 2,000 people, but now you only have to feed 30, you're going to go gourmet, aren't you? You're going to go all out. So.
Do you know, that's so true because a couple of people in my circle are either thinking of getting married or in the last couple of weeks have been married. I haven't been to any wedding, but my family's been, obviously they've come back and told me, and they've actually said that they had a better time than they used to in weddings before because you just sit there, you're eating processed food, you know it's frozen food and they've just warmed it up in a padilla or something and they've just served it to you. And you know, it's true though. And
shout out to real caterers out there.
Real caterers, but it's you don't really get that quality. And it's unlimited alcohol supply, so they've obviously, you know, thought about that more than the quality of the food. So my family's really enjoyed going to weddings recently because they get that attention and the care. And
I think women in general have been looking forward to weddings more so than the men.
Excuse to get dressed.
Well,
Yeah.
take me out of it, because not me, and I can't be bothered.
One to go eat. Second to get dressed, third to go eat.
I don't even like get excited for. I just love staying home now. I've become such a COVID lover.
Oh wow!
You would still love to get dressed up though to go to
but not for weddings.
But in fairness, everybody's either in one of the two camps. They've either loved COVID and lockdown and loved to be in there, like relaxed loungewear. And loungewear sales have gone through the roof in fashion.
Through the roof.
Or you're one of those people that's like, oh my god, I miss getting ready. I miss going out. And so wedding season's like, boom, I can get all the nice clothes out, get my jewelry out.
Definitely, yeah.
What used to annoy you about weddings? What do you think the most annoying thing about weddings is?
The most annoying thing about weddings, probably for everyone our generation, is being asked when is yours.
Oh wow.
That's another reason why I don't go, because
they'll grill you on the table as well.
They grill you. They grill you, and it's like, why? Or they'll say, you're next. I mean, I think that's just the pressure of that. And also, you can't say that to someone. I saw this meme once, like, you know, imagine saying that to someone at a funeral. You're next.
Yo,
How horrible.
Facts.
How horrible is that?
No, but
it's true.
It's true. Your time's gonna come as well. Look.
Who are you to decide I'm next, actually?
If they ask you in general, like as a one-on-one, I think that's not saying they have the right to ask you, but it's just conversation, you know. But when they drill it on you, it's about 8 women around a table or 8 bundles on a table. It's just like, right, son. So when are you getting married? Are you gonna get soon? We're not gonna get any younger, boy. It's like, Angie, yeah. And I was looking at you like this, like, And they're not saying they're all judgmental, but they've stuck it on you, and now they see, well, now what is your response? How are you going to handle this? You know, it's there, as I say, they're the masha to see. Let's see how he rocks it. Let's see how she rides this, and see what her answer is, and then we can use that against her. If she says, I've got someone now, or got someone in the pipeline,
I don't
I'll use that against you as well. I think you said you had someone. On the spot.
But the next level is when they say, it's your turn next, and you've only got 6 months till you have to invite everybody, you know? If you do it now, you can only invite 30 people and you'll save loads of money.
Oh,
wow.
That's not a bad...
Even more pressure.
That's not a bad strategy, though. I'm not saying it's right, but you're to save money.
I mean, it is an attraction.
You can use the money then.
It is an attraction.
Your honeymoon. You can go to honeymoon.
All right, okay, I can see... Do you know what? I can see that, because the difference here is that someone's actually... not made it only about weddings, but they've kind of thought about it from a commercial perspective to save your money. That's, I wouldn't say 100% genuine, but there's a point of that you can actually consider. But when it's like, you're not getting younger, you're ugly, I don't know what, like, you know, your parents are getting sick of you, or lose a bit more weight, and then you'll get married. I don't understand, at what point do you feel motivated and think, I'm definitely going to do this?
Attractive the way they talk to you about it.
No,
it's not like I aspire to be married. I'm not saying
I know. I just feel like I just listen to it out of respect, because my parents have always taught me it doesn't matter whatever someone's saying to you, right? You keep your dignity, and so don't clap back and don't say anything, because with them saying it's not like you'll be married tomorrow, and with them not saying it's not like you're not going to be married tomorrow, so just listen to it. But it definitely is interesting to see all the comments that people make.
I think the thing to remember is actually it's out of concern. It's delivered in such a strange way. But underlying is they actually care and they want to see you happy.
Yeah. And that's, I think, the essence of it. The theory behind it is that they want to see you have a family and
but you know what,
think about your future.
They flex on you for the marriage, Cool, got married. 2 months later, when you have grandkids. That's the next pressure.
That's the thing, though.
They never stop. Yeah. They're just hounding you. They're like leeches. One thing's done, the next thing's done. I mean it in a nice way, because some of these leeches are nice aunties, but they're leeches because they're just like, I'm not got married yet. Now I got married. Okay, so when are you gonna have some grandchildren? Your mother would like grandchildren. Well, she's my mother. She needs grandchildren. She'll tell me about it. No, but she told me about it. All right, auntie. Well, clearly you need to look after your own grandchildren over there, love. So just crack on, innit? But they don't want to stop with you. They want to keep drilling you at any point they can. And then they might bring something else afterwards, and God knows what, innit?
Well, you've got to keep the gossip train going.
Give them something.
Yeah, but see, I'm not about the gossip flex stuff. I'm not about that. I can't stand people out there talking about someone's business who's no concern. Like, okay, there's a point where you actually care about their welfare, but there's a point where you care about just the gossip. So you can go and tell Baksho auntie or Flan or something.
I have a Baksho
auntie. I've got a Baksho auntie as well. I'm not like a auntie. Sorry, we have Bakshos out there.
Name drops. Name dropping.
I name drop a name. I don't know everyone's aunties, you get me, but pass the message on to them.
It's the Indian version of the Karen.
It's the Karen,
So we've told them about X, Y, Z, and now they can tell someone else about it, and then everyone's in your business. And this is still half the time, issues that could get resolved in a household just
have gone
gets popped
everywhere.
up because it's escalated because someone said something else, someone's distorted the story here, Joe Blogs knows about it, next man knows about it, the next thing is all this, as we call it, halalala. And that's what it is, you know? It's a halalala. It's just like...
Do you know, I think that off the back of this and like how toxic, I think we can all agree it's toxic, right? Even though it's out of concern, but we can't deny that it's toxic. Off the back of that, I think it's come to a point where even other communities and mainstream media mocks us for it. So, for example, I've heard, my friends have told me about so many Netflix shows off the back of like Indian dating or marriages. I don't know their names, but it's like where a matchmaker will try and marry off a couple of girls, and then it's like, oh, you will not get married, and all this kind of stuff. And it's entertainment for the world, but what they don't realise is this is actually some people's real life. And some people avoid social events like the plague, i.e. me, because it's not entertainment for me, and I don't want to give you any entertainment, but it is so toxic.
It can
that
make
the world is laughing at us.
Extra paranoid as well. It makes you extra paranoid about life.
It makes you so paranoid.
Like, you might have things to do in your day-to-day basis, want to do something, and then you go to a party, and they give that crap to you, and now on that weekend you're just like, oh, and not questioning life, you start to think about life in a different way, and not even in the most positive light. No, I've got this pressure now she's saying this, I went to another wedding, they said that to me again there as well, they said this to me here. It's just like, well, they're never going to stop. And it's just something that, it's always the older lot that say it. I mean, I'd say the Western people, Westerners being like aunties and uncles who are probably about, I don't know, 40, 45, who have been brought up in the UK as well, even they're partially on this flex as well, which even they start drilling you as well, because they are the pressures, they've had it drilled to them all the time, and they think it's a norm to say, yo, like, what's going on, like, come on then, sort it out. It's like, well, soon. Well, when's soon gonna be? They just start trying to mug you off. It's like, uncle, relax. Like, why are you saying so loud for? Why are you getting so loud so everyone can hear the tamasha? Because that's what it is, isn't it? They can stand and listen, but when you chat to you, say, what's going on? Are you doing anything or X, Y, Z? Like, have you got anything in the pipeline? I'm just asking genuinely. I can accept that and I can respect that, because they're just genuinely asking about your welfare. When they stick it on you and they freaking
make you a spectacle.
Google pin location. Here's
the
single person.
It's just not.
So do you face pressures like that?
I mean, I think everybody, our generation in the Asian community, faces those pressures, and I do think that, you know, I face them. Everybody I know faces them, and it's just a matter of understanding where it's coming from and not letting it get to you, which is easy to say and hard to do. And there are a lot of people where, you know, it can cause depression, it can cause all sorts of issues, but you just really have to kind of in one ear out another, in a way.
I mean, just personally speaking, it's not even my own parents, it's other people. So, for example, if a family friend, their son or their daughter is about to get married, and they will invite us, but they're not only going to just limit it to that, they will invite us and say, what about your kids? And so even though our parents, like my parents, for example, would not put that pressure on me, and they've never put that pressure on me, which I'm really, really lucky about, I know that at the back of their mind, they do think like, are we going to see this day? Like, is she gonna actually think about these things? We don't want to force her, but why is it not happening right now? And I know that it's indirect pressure, so even though they don't pass that on to me, but then someone's dealing with it and it's them.
Yeah, they're getting it from their extended
and I don't
family
see that
community.
happening. I don't see that happening with English people. They'll just give you the invitation and be like, hope to see you there. We've got cheese sandwiches, and
their weddings
that's
are a whole
it, done.
Different
they don't turn around and be like, when are you going to get married? They're just not that invested.
They're just there for the actual occasion.
Yes,
they
really are.
They're present in the moment there.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to 1 or 2 English weddings as well myself, and they're a stark contrast to upper weddings.
Oh god!
Like, you know, when I've gone to let's say Disi wedding stuff, and there's a couple of Gorda there, oh bro, we love your weddings, man. We get to get free drink, we get the food here, we get rounds of food, and the guy over there does not stop putting bottles on our table because he said to me that it's disrespect if there's an empty bottle on your table. How hospitable is that?
You guys know how to party.
Yeah.
You guys really know how to party.
And I tell him, and I say to him, I goes, that's fine, I guess, but you're saying that, oh, you know, we love your Sikh weddings, you're at a Punjabi wedding, because Sikhs don't drink. And I was telling them, like, oh, but like, I guess all the real bad ones, the real ones don't. I guess, but the party, the event, happy days and stuff, innit? But when you go to their wedding, it's like, bro, you walk in like a conference room. It's like them triangle sandwiches on our side. I'm like, I went to one. I was like, where's the food? Oh, over there, mate. Went over there. They got cheese.
Digestives.
They got egg and cress, you know. I was like, okay, but I'm there for the occasion, so it's perfectly fine. But I was just like, wow.
But the English weddings, I've not been to very many English weddings, but the ones that I have been to, I can honestly say nobody has ever asked me that question. Nobody. It is such a lovely occasion for people to get together, talk about what they've been up to, and when you haven't done something so many times, you observe big time. And so because I haven't been to that many English weddings, I've really observed, and they talk about what they've been up to, their work, holiday plans, you know, other things in life that also mean something. But in our weddings, I have never, ever had anybody ask me about where are you hoping to travel next, or what's your career plans, or you know, what have you been up to recently? It's just...
They're not the questions.
They're damn all,
One track
It's
mind.
just one track.
And we can't even say it's the music, because the music loud on both points, but it's people's mindset. They are there for the occasion and the time that, we're enjoying the moment here.
Yeah.
We're here for these two people, and we're just here for that. When it comes to Mademydate wedding and stuff, they go there, they want to see how a person looks. Are they still well? Are they deteriorating? How is their life? Is there any gossip? Who's done what? You know, have you got stories about these people because I heard X, Y, Z? Let me go catch up with that next person to see is it certy or not, or is it like is there any validation there? Yeah. That's all they care about. And the Bande, again, same kind of thing. Oh, he said this and he said that. Flan. I'm thinking, well, where's your chat about moves? The thing is, people don't want to tell people about their moves because they're thinking if I tell this person about moves, they're going to know something about it and it's going to be some hindrance, or they might use it against me, they might start hating and stuff. So our people in general keep their information close to their chest. They don't want to share it. Yeah. Whereas you go to other places, they'll okay, so what's your future aspirations? Why do you want to take your career? What are you looking into? Oh, that's nice. Yeah, my cousin did this or my niece did this. They'll tell you. You don't get that ours. I've never been to any Desi wedding where I've had that, apart from people that are my age. If I sat next to a bunda my age,
not as judgmental.
we talked on a level, and that's rare, man.
There's just a lot more competition in our community. I mean, even down to what lenga is that girl wearing versus me. You know, I need to be one up in what I'm wearing, the latest trend.
I always see
it's competition. Whereas I think when you go to an English wedding, it's just about having fun and enjoying the couple's day with them. And
no one wants to outdo anyone. Like, one of the things that really bothers me, actually, me and my best friend talk about this all the time. I just feel, she always says to me, God, you're really passionate about this. But I am, and I feel like, for example, I've seen a lot of weddings where normal guests will try to outdo the bride. Yeah. And it's come to a point I can't tell anymore. So the bride looks like she's just come visiting, like, you know, she's just come off the train and she's just visiting to be polite. But every other person who has probably never spoken to the bride in their life, they are wearing a big red lenga with the whole shenanigans, and you think, is it you getting married? But it's not. And so coming back to what you've said, the competition is so right. It's crazy because everyone wants to be like that. Yeah. Whereas in English weddings, one of my friends is getting married in a couple of months, and she has chosen everyone's outfits. And the bridesmaids and also the other guests have said, whatever you choose for us, we're happy with that. And she's said to them, no, you tell me. If you're not happy with it, you can change it. And they've said, no, it's your day. We'll do what you want to do. And I think we just don't have that in our community because...
That's get to the wedding stage. In terms of like people getting together, so you obviously run a page, a business that is about people getting together, dates and stuff and so forth. Mademydate and that. Yeah. Do you get people who are either getting to know each other, coming and asking you about stuff, and do you get also people who are already in a relationship on dates and stuff as well? Because I think that when people, once they get married, some people literally think, that's it, life is over, you got married, you work, and that is it. They don't have this kind of, this dating aspect involved now, because they think, dating what? I'm married to you now.
Definitely,
do you know what I mean?
Definitely. So I've done a survey, actually 80% of couples think that date nights are important, but only 15% actually do them. 15%.
Wow.
Because work takes over, children take over, or they have to run the household or anything, and dating just gets lower and lower and lower in the priority list. And then when you look at divorce rates, actually one of the major reasons why people get divorced is they don't feel that love anymore. They don't feel that connection anymore. And the reason why? They don't get alone time. So when you think about it, dating as a couple is actually detriment to the success of your relationship. And more couples really need to prioritize that. And that's something that we focus on in Mademydate. So we do actually have services for singles and couples, but for couples, a big part of it is creating bespoke dates for them. So it's creating that romantic night for them. You know, tell us what day and roughly what you want to do in your budget, and we organize everything. So it's almost like a first date. You can just turn up and have fun.
I mean, I know you did that, but I didn't know to the extent
I had no idea.
Yeah.
No, I want to know from scratch. Obviously, you've touched upon like what you do, but I've never heard of this before. So how does it work? Like people go on your website, people DM you and say, me and my wife or me and my husband, we want to do something.
Yeah, so we get loads of different things. So people can follow us on Instagram, or they can go on the website. And I get loads of people DMing me basically saying, oh, it's my husband's birthday, I really want to do something special. Can you help us out? They don't want necessarily a celebration with the family. They want something just the two of them.
So it's
and
intimate.
That's where we come in, Or it could be a couple that have been seeing each other for a couple of months, and you know, maybe they want to do a proposal and they want that to be special, and they want someone to help them organise it. So we come in when it comes to that kind of thing.
So you have a team of people that do that. Have you ever had, this is crazy, have you ever had like a couple who has had your services and hated it?
No, touch wood, not yet.
Everyone goes to Shugi.
You know, the people that you've had in terms of coming to you for this, so this dating and stuff, and because like I said, it's a big thing, and I know so many people who, they've not got that connection anymore. I'm thinking like, you can't physically lose that that quick, or you can't lose that if you're with someone for so long and it's just gone. And again, it's the time. It's having the time alone with the person. And I think that it goes two ways. One is obviously some people want to stay and live with my parents. And I get the flip side where it's like you want your own space. So I totally get both sides in that one. The people that come to yourself, are they predominantly Dissies, or do you get like an array of people from different backgrounds and cultures and communities and stuff?
It's completely a mixed bag. I have to say, like, a lot are from Desi purely because of my own network. But Mademydate, we are not an Asian-specific dating service. We're absolutely everybody. And yeah, I get your point about when you're living with your folks or your in-laws, it's even harder then to have those date nights. But I really think it's about communication. You know, if you schedule in this date night and speak to everybody, surely you can have like a time that you can have that alone time. And even our parents' generation, you know, they should be having date nights. Just because they've got grandchildren now doesn't mean that they should be like, slippers up, we don't need to do anything.
Sometimes, like, my mum will be going Asda or something, and I'll be like, oh, I'll go with you. She'll go, no, your dad will go with me. They make a date, and I think,
After date night.
And I'm like, really? And she's like, sit down.
But if you think about it from their generation, they've been in the mindset of, right, you need to get married, have children, work hard until you get to retirement age, and then even then they end up doing work.
Or
when do they get time, or even the mindset to think about having
it's not a priority for, they don't know this word dating.
They don't.
All they know is that as long as I'm with her alone, that is my date. So they are, like you said, they are, but they're not. We put a label on it, not that the label's bad, but we want it in a place and a time where we want it for ourselves alone. We want that alone time. And a lot of people, and I understand how some girls do get vexed at some guys because they're not giving them the time. I'm married with you, I'll take you out in a couple of weeks or something. It's like, well, it's the priority, you know? And I know I've got some friends, they say, oh, she's doing my head in. I'm like, well, there's many factors that someone can do your head in.
Absolutely.
You know, you can make life easier, and the same with the girl as well. I mean, if both people are understanding and stuff, you can get kind of further with this, you know, and it's one of them ones. It's the one is communication. A lot of that, what you're actually
talking about, is love languages. So where you get maybe a female that's saying, I want to go out, you haven't taken me out in a long time, we haven't had a date night. It's actually because the type of love language that she's speaking, which is more on the materialistic, spending time out, doing stuff. But someone else's love language could be, I fixed your car for you as a surprise.
Yes.
You know,
I made you dinner.
Having that understanding of your different love languages, understanding what your partner's love language is, and then doing something to show that love.
But it's the case of having the time alone to themselves as well. You know, it's like, I mean, imagine it like you've I don't know if anyone's ever there. So you're married to your partner or something. You're lying on your sofa. You start nibbling your missus's ear or something, or kissing her neck, and your aunt and your mum walks in. How are you gonna feel? How are you gonna feel? And on top of that, if you were having a gumble over you, and you want to go on an exploration edition and that. Now what? Now you got your mother sitting there. You're not gonna roll on, are you? You're gonna be like, oh, okay.
This is what 2 living rooms, loft extensions, and granny annexes.
Oh.
What is it? Okay. Well, you heard it here first. Can you please run down
one more time.
The home improvements first?
Look in that camera over there and just repeat it.
It's very important for couples to have space. Definitely.
Yeah.
No, I need I need home improvement names. I need the names, please.
Everyone's going to be like, "My what you told me I have to have loft extension is all your fault."
What was it?
When your wife is asking for an extension, it's not to increase the value of the property.
Yeah, it's all
right?
about time. Get the hint.
Can you please tell me the 3 names from Dungeons? What are they called? The names. I mean, sorry, home improvement Dungeons. What are they called? So extension, loft. Wait, am I asking a serious question? So dungeon 1 is the extension. Dungeon 2 is the loft. And what's the third one? The third one was.
It's not a dungeon. It's granny annex where you can take the in-law so you can have the house to yourself.
So dungeon, an annexed dungeon. Okay, so you've got extension, annex, and loft conversion, yeah?
I'm amazing.
Cool. No, you've got to make sure that you've got all your kit ready. I mean, sorry, no, not kit ready. You know what I mean?
Somebody's been watching way too many 50 Shades of Grey.
I've actually watched it. Listen, don't even want the t-shirt yet, because I swear to God, I wore it with no intention of that shot getting fired.
Subliminal messages.
I don't know what is that? 65 Shades of Grey? What is it?
65!
Oh my God,
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, to be fair. I don't know what it is. But that is, I mean, extension fair play, but you need time alone, be it dungeon or not. You need time alone because, you know, it's that kind of.
It's important. The same way that you need me time as an individual, you need couple time, especially in an extended family where you've got 3 generations in the house. I mean, you can go crazy at the best of times, but if you actually want time, intimate time alone, how are you going to do that? It has to be planned in, it has to be scheduled in. Let's say you do nothing. And years and years and years go by, you're obviously going to drift apart if you don't have that time together.
Have people ever told you their problems? Like, look, this is the situation I'm in right now. This is the struggle I'm having. Any tips, any guidance, any support for this kind of stuff?
Yeah, so actually one of the services is a coaching for dating and relationships that we provide. So we actually do one-to-one sessions with people to talk about their personal issues, whether it's relationships, whether it's getting back into dating, whether it's understanding like how to go from swiping and matching with someone to actually organising a date. So that is something that we provide.
Wow.
So you must have like bare stories, people, innit? Like,
yeah. Right now we're gonna sit back.
We don't want the stories, but if you can give us one, just to kind of what to expect.
No. We do want the stories, right? Don't be polite about it. Let's sit back.
Yeah, you know what? Scrap your
Stop it.
Fire in the booth.
I don't know why you're being so polite about it. We literally said before the cameras rolled.
I didn't say anything. Like, you like tell me all these dungeon stories of yours. Yeah. So don't come on to me about that.
The dungeon comment is purely
I
yourself.
was
Don't label me with that comment.
I said it as a joint venture.
Oh my God, there's an invitation to the dungeon.
But you know, you're gonna get some crazy people out there who are gonna off the back of that. It'll agree services. Right, sit back now. I want two crazy stories.
I'm asking just for one.
No, I want 2.
So unfortunately, the coaching service is actually private and confidential, so I don't disclose any information.
So thank you very much for joining us today. It's been great.
We didn't ask for any names. Like,
no, we don't want names. We just want...
Shalini Gupta or Kantia Chakrabarti or Pradeep Puri or something. I'm just joking.
No, something I did actually do though in lockdown 1 was every Thursday after Clap for the Heroes, I went live and made a fictional dating series called Sandy's Memoirs. And it was about a British Asian girl and her dating life, and every single episode was a date of hers, and they were quite risque, raunchy kind of.
Is it?
See,
I told you Dungeon thing. I told you Dungeon thing was right. See, I wasn't far off there.
Yeah, well, ooh.
So yeah, if anybody is interested, you can always.
Don't point at me.
You can
always have a listen.
Yeah, don't point at me. I'm not making a I'm not going to say that word.
We need a fan in here.
No. I was going to say something, but I had to hold my tongue there, so it's not you. I was going to say something, but oh my God, I'll just leave it be though. But dating aside and stuff though, like that's one thing you can kind of fix it and stuff. That's one thing that can be remedied, let's say, over time. Acknowledgement is one thing. But the other problem people have right now, especially people in like who are married and stuff, who are going through like arranged marriages where they're meeting someone. Some people don't disclose all the information about them. I know girls that have been with a guy or something, and he said like, I don't eat meat, I don't drink, whether they do or not really bothered about it. But then after they've kind of start seeing the person and they got married, it switched. Oh yeah, I just kind of started yesterday.
Occasional.
How? How do you just start like that? Do you get me?
Yeah, and I think that's just people not being genuine. And
and then the girl finds out they were drinking for a year before that.
The pressure that we all get as a generation is just get married. And it's almost, well, I'll just tell a couple of white lies so that I can
bag it.
I lost though. Going into a relationship, knowing that you're going in there, kind of deceiving the person.
No,
knowing
because
it's gonna it can fire back at a later stage.
It can, but I don't think that's how we think. But the other person, for example, a person who's got that much pressure and thinks that, you know what, by telling a couple of white lies, I'm going to bag myself a husband or a wife. Yeah. You don't know, the other person that you might meet might also be thinking the same thing. It's two peas in a pod, and they're able to say to everyone, look, I found a partner, let's have a glam wedding, now leave us alone. Yeah. What they do in their personal life, whether they drink, smoke, whatever they do, no one's got any concern with that now, because your ultimate goal is done now.
They're not on the checklist anymore.
It's not even the people though. I mean, if you're going to disclose something to someone about X, Y, I was going to see a girl and they said, arrange you to meet each other and stuff, and she told me certain three things, like, look, X, Y, Z, and they were not bad or good, doesn't matter. She told me, but you know what, fair point. I'm good, but fair point. I ain't gonna go tell anyone that conversation. Leave it be, you get me? And it's that honesty thing that we lack, where we have to tell the white lie to get to that point, and afterwards, like, well, okay, you told me a lie about that. What else are you lying about? That starts to play on many people, like, okay, well, it's just a white lie, but now what they're else? Thinking, when you say something, are you being sincere? Are you being genuine about it? Or it's like, I know countless people that they tell these dumb little lies, and it backfires on them. Literally within like 5-6 months. Yeah,
I know people that have done that. Like, I've had so many screenshots from friends, and they've said, "Oh my God, he's just asked me this," and like I know a lot of people can relate to this, because I know that this happens in chats. Oh, it's screenshot. He's just asked me this. I'm not going to say anything yet. I'll meet him first. You'll see how fit I am, right? And then I'll drop it in there that, I'm on cocaine or something.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Oh wow.
And then I'm just saying.
That's a deep point, though.
Ooh, I'm just trying to make it dramatic.
No, that's fine. That's
good.
That's a big one.
Each to their own.
Right? Each to their own. But it happens though, because it's like, well, you know what? I don't need to put everything out there just now. Yeah. The ultimate goal is just to bag someone.
Yeah, they want to present themselves in a certain way so that they can tick it off, get married, all those auntie will shut their mouths,
So what do you think about arranged marriages?
I think arranged marriages are really good. I do think on this point though, no matter what culture you're from, honesty is key, because at the end of the day it's going to come out sooner or later. Oh, yeah. And do you really want to make the divorce rates go up even more?
Yeah, if you can avoid that, avoid it. Sometimes you can't avoid it. Shit, as I say, shit happens, but when it's stuff like that, and you could just have told someone, then it's like, okay, I could have said something. Like the one that you just mentioned right now, it's a big one to take. If someone said that to anyone, it's like, okay, well. But then the take on this is like, does anything you drink or anything else, does that change you as a person? Because if you become this monster with whatever you're like drinking and stuff, then who wants that?
Yeah.
Like domestic violence and stuff kicks off, all that kind of malarkey stuff. Like, look how much rate they say they rose after the football.
Yeah.
For, that kind of stuff. That guys are getting vexed.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff. So if it's gonna kind of change you as a person, do you really want that for starters? Second, we're gonna let things like that slide, and then third, it's like just tell them, look, I drink, and it's perfectly fine.
But coming back to arranged marriages, like I agree with you. I think that I don't see anything wrong with them at all. I think there's such stigma to it, because I think people struggle to differentiate between arranged and forced. Yeah. And so to me, if you say arranged, I don't I don't see the difference between your parents or a close family member or a relative scouting somebody and say, what do you think? Like, you don't have to speak to them. Or and you know, people are so heavy on no, absolutely not. But if your friend recommended you to speak to someone, it's so normal. And I think obviously forced marriage, that's a completely different subject, but there's so much like bad publicity around arranged marriages, because I think in our society we misconstrue it as it's a failure. That means that you have not been able to go out there and find yourself a partner for whatever reason, and now you are having to rely on other people sorting you out. But how's that different to using an app or being, you know, I don't know, introduced by your friend, or just...
Yeah, but some people don't want to settle for less.
Yeah, but you don't have to.
There's two sides of this. One is there's a stigma around arranged marriages almost being like forced marriages. The other is anybody who's not doing arranged marriage and looking for someone themselves, a lot of the time, too much choice is a bad thing, in the sense of, you know, we've got this culture now, swipe left culture, and also there's this whole, well, they're nice, but I could find someone a bit better.
Yeah, I can do better.
You know, there's always that mindset, and
it's
then you end up in
a
situation where you're constantly looking for this somebody better. So in a way, an arranged marriage is better because it stops you from having too much choice. And in another way, it's good because your families are usually involved if it's an introduction through family. So you've kind of already ticked that box. You know?
But it's a direction. They're kind of guiding you to people that may fit your criteria.
Yeah,
because
no one knows you better.
that you want. So, well, you want this. Okay, even if your friends say, look, there's someone that I think might be a good match for you, chat to them. You have got nothing to lose to chat to someone, because if they know that you're seriously on this path for the marriage and stuff, and you want a wedding, let's say, at some stage, there's like, okay, well, if you're going to meet this person, both of you know where you stand. No one's on the wrong page now. It's when you meet people on your own ones and stuff, on your Jack Jones, as I say, you meet them, they're not really clear what they want to do, where they want to go with and stuff. You're all trying to go somewhere, they're kind of limbo here, and then you get some kind of, not altercation, some kind of, you know, conversation. It's like, and now the vibe's just gone now. You're like, you know, scrap this person. And it's all because you're not on the same page. And no one's to blame there, because you wanted something and you're going that way, but you want to do it on your ones. Now, if you meet someone or your family say, look, there's someone out there like that you potentially go with, chat to them, fair play. Now, I've had my mum send me pictures and stuff, The pictures were whack. I'm sorry if you sent my picture to mum, but they were whack. And I was like, I can't do anything with this. Like, I didn't even give the person a shot. I looked and I thought, nah, man, I can't be lying next to you every single morning. I mean it in the nicest way possible. Why are you laughing, man? I'm being serious. I mean it in the nicest way possible. Like,
as much as we joke about it, it is
it's
actually
so
true.
True. I appreciate the honesty.
Like, people say, oh yeah, you should look past the looks and stuff. You know, the person might be lovely girl, lovely guy. That's nice, but if I see the person across the road, oh, they look so lovely. Can I see the lovely? No, because the first thing I see is them and their face and everything else.
But I think from that, if we stop beating around the bush, people always say, oh, you know, they've got to have a great personality, I don't care how they look. And I often find that people who say that are the most fussiest. Fussiest. True. And, you know, for example, they are the people who want a lot of choice. And then what they do is, the way that they weigh it out is who's prettier. You know?
They forget all the other points.
All the other points are gone. It's who is going to look like a trophy person on my arm, right? And it's often those people who are trying to be politically correct, like, oh no, but personality means everything. I think people just need to start owning up. You need to be attracted to your partner. You've got to think of them as good looking. So that's the first thing, because
it's
you know,
it's how you see them as well.
It's what meets the eye, right? When you meet someone, you're not going to see their lungs and liver and think, yeah, that's great. You're obviously going to see what's on the outside, and then you would make the next step or consider seeing someone's personality. Why do people beat around the bush about personality comes
first? You know what? Because they don't want to be seen as being vain, and it's not. And it's not vain if you want to look at something that looks nice the rest of your life. If they're really looking gussy and clapped up from day one, and you want to look after, let's say, a year, and they're looking, no, I mean like a nice way.
Think about it. All that pressure about having kids from the auntie, you need to be able to have them with
that. Somebody's auntie didn't have a choice of who they could get with, and same to the dudes. But we have a choice. But if the person is not like attractive to look at, and you're looking thinking, I'm not really attracted to you, it's very hard. And I don't mean in a bad way, because looks And how pretty someone is and how handsome someone is subjective. We know that.
Yeah.
But we've all got our own sets of eyes as well.
Yeah.
You know, mine's different to your eyes. How I see things, you don't see things the same way. And that's what I tell people. Go, look, however I see something, you're not going to see it the same way. So what you deem as being pretty good looking, I may not. And it's not that I'm wrong or you're right. It's just that I just don't see it from your angle. And if I don't see it, you can't force it. The only difference here is if you meet people out there in your day-to-day life and you got to know them after 1 month, 4 months, 6 months, a year, they might end up you might end up falling for them because now you see the person and you've gone past that stage, but you need that time for that. And you can't put down some kind of express kind of sushi train, they call it.
Yeah,
off you
you've
go.
seen them once.
Yeah,
that's more than
it doesn't work like
it
that.
happens. I've seen that happen with Asian parents a lot. So there will be a date arranged or whatever, and at first they kind of lie to you. They sell you the dream. They say to you, "You can go on this date, no pressure. If you don't like them, take as much time." You have not walked back in yet. You've just opened the door and they'll say, "When's the wedding then?" or if you turn around and say, "Actually, we didn't connect or we didn't have chemistry. You're too fussy. What's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
He's absolutely fine. She's absolutely fine. Yeah, but that might be okay to you. Like Jas said, that you might find that okay. You might find them good looking or whatever. But Mum, it's not you getting married again. It's me. Or Dad.
And that's why there are so many people who don't want to go down the arranged marriage route, and they would prefer to go on apps and websites and groups to find people. So it's just really finding out what is right for you. There is no such, this is the right route and this is the wrong route. It's what route is comfortable for you and your future partner.
I think it stops at a point where if people are going to get involved, be it parents or these nut job auntie, it goes to a point where, okay, we've introduced you guys, now it's on you. Go and skedaddle and go and chat and talk to you amongst yourselves and see how it's going to kind of progress. And if it doesn't progress, fine, next. Now, don't be next in the case of, okay, you're on some kind of some kind of sushi train. It's just the fact that it just didn't go. To the next person. When you come back and you're sitting there, I've been to a house where I was sitting there with one of my cousins, so we sat there, they brought some girl, and you go and have a walk around the street or something, get to know each other, have a little quick chat or something, yada, yada, yada. They've come back, and the girl's dad said, okay, well, we're going to go home, and we'll let you guys know how it went. Obviously, the guy and girl didn't really see eye to eye, perfectly fine. My guys, one of our aunties, like, oh yeah, she's all right, just do it, just don't wait, it'll all clear out after a couple of months. No, it will not. Do you know what I mean?
You can't look past if someone stinks. That's a forever thing.
Like,
how are you going to look past someone's smell? As an example,
they showed me a tour of their home, and the first stop was the tea station.
The tea station? What?
As in, this is where you'll be making my tea when we're married.
Oh, the funniest one I got was...
Were they looking for a wife or like...
the funniest one I got was an auntie said to me, like, I've got my niece. She's looking to get married, I can sort something out, I can speak to your mum. Didn't even ask my mum, just you'll bypass the whole family. Let me just go chat to my street. Yeah, I've got a niece, yada, 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 yada. I was like, auntie, I think I'll leave it. No, she's lovely, she's going to be a pharmacist, gonna be. Holler me when she is. No, I'm just joking. But like, and I was like, I'm okay. I was like, I'm okay, I'm cool. And after like one or two weeks and that, I told my mate about it. It's like, oh yeah, her daughter just had a divorce. So, auntie, if you do watch this, like, at least look after your house first before asking to fix someone else's house, because that's the one thing I don't respect. Like, you've got to keep your own stuff in check first before you give anyone a suggestion on anything. Like, I like to train. If I'm in what I said, like whack shape, I can't give anyone full guidance. I can give some guidance, not full guidance. You can't be telling someone about getting married to your niece when your own daughter is in a pickle. And that could be for many reasons, but you could try and fix that first, rather than trying to fix someone else's household. Do you know what I mean? Because I can't rate a person for them. I'm thinking, well, your house ain't in check right now. Like, I'm sure your niece is lovely and stuff, whatnot. But I'm thinking, and it's the pressure of some of these aunties as well that always digging in, sticking nose everywhere. And we don't say much to them because we're trying to be polite.
But this is the thing, isn't it? Our parents say, you just keep it chill. But you can't always do that. But just in relation to meeting people, so does your app kind of cater for meeting new people? I know that you organise dates and stuff and all these ideas for couples to get together. but do you actually introduce people to one another as well?
Yeah, so like I said before, actually the service was for singles and couples. So the side for the singles is I do actually organise events for people to match up to each other. So for example, in lockdown, we did 2 virtual events so people could actually keep their dating life going during lockdown. And people absolutely loved it. Because a lot of people, it was new to them. They didn't want to do the video dating on all the apps and the websites, but they wanted to meet people, and they wanted it to be in a relaxed, fun atmosphere. So we created these virtual events for singles to meet each other in a very chilled environment where we're just getting to know each other, playing games, all kind of sharing stories about our dating as well. But then people matched up. We actually had 30% of the attendees match up at the end of the events. So yeah, we do singles events.
Have any of them been married? Did any of them get married?
Not married, yeah. I
That's
mean,
true,
it was
that's
only
true. You got to tell us when that happens.
Yes, I'll definitely inform you. And I have a Facebook group for people as well. So if anybody wants to, it's literally a free Facebook group for people to join, interact, because I'm a bit of a kind of soppy romantic myself. I believe that everyone deserves love. So I just want to give whatever I can for people to find each other. Because let's face it, it's really hard, right?
Yeah, so if anyone ever messages you on a dating app, please respond. So my last question to you is, what do you think? What tips? What tips? No one's gonna get the joke now. No one's gonna get it. What do you think are the top tips for a marriage or a relationship to be successful? Like to kind of finish it off. What do you feel? As a person who's meeting people and kind of helping people along the way and stuff, what do you feel is the top tips for that?
There's definitely 3 characteristics that you have to have. First of all, respect for yourself, respect for each other. So if you're not feeling it with someone, tell them. If you're not feeling up for dating because maybe you've got dating fatigue, give yourself a bit of me time, you know. And trust is key. So where you were talking about people tell these white lies, that's an element of trust. You've already started that relationship on a wrong footing. And then the third thing is effort, and it doesn't have to be monetary effort, but it has to be effort. You have to keep things going. Just because, you know, your kids are teenagers going off to university doesn't mean you have to stop. That's where it's key. They should carry on having date nights, carry on showing effort in how you love each other.
Yeah. Don't you see older generation? I've seen it so many times where kids will book them a holiday, like book your parents a holiday, and often they'll say, "We're not going to go without our kids." So I've seen it so many times. In fact, even like my own parents, I've said to them so many times, "Why don't you both go away?" And my mum and dad, both of them, they'll say, "We're not going to go without you two, me and my brother." And I find that really nice. But then I think, God, like, you two are still your own people.
Do you know what it is, though?
You were in the scene before we came
when
along.
we're here, they've got that level of everything can get done for us.
Yeah.
If you send your parents abroad somewhere to a country that's a new speaking, I don't know what the world part is, but like you send them some other country, right? And they're just like, okay, now we've got to speak to these people, try and get things sorted out. It's that fear, like, oh, another country. What are we going to do here? I think there's a level of that, to be honest.
No, it's true.
There's a solution for that. Just get an all-inclusive resort. That's it. They don't go anywhere. They just stay there the whole time.
Yeah, but again, I still think that's kind of like you're still bound to that location, that resort. I've been to resorts like that, and you're just stuck. I mean, it's not stuck because you've got everything there. You need everything you need there. If you want to go venture around and stuff, it's a bit. I don't know. You just can't.
I'm presuming now, but I like to think that our parents' generation, they might just want to chill. They might just actually want to sit in the resort,
might actually want
relax,
to
spend time together, and not necessarily go and fed all the way and damage their good day even further.
It's true.
There is that as well. But I just think if you're going to go to another country, I always recommend go and see the country.
Actually,
when our parents say to us, "Oh, we're going on a holiday," where we're going back to Punjab. It wasn't really a holiday.
That's not a holiday. You're going back home.
You're waking up to cows and bakriyan and mango trees, which is lovely.
And you're taking gifts for everyone there, by the way. No, you're going to be feeding everyone there.
No one catching gifts from me, mate. I never took any gifts there.
This is why you just need to organise it for them, ship them off, and they come back all nice and
refreshed. We'll use your website. We'll use your app.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so if anybody needs parents on holiday somewhere, Shugi here, she's going to organise it.
Everyone gets at Shugi.
Mexico, you want to go to Cuba, you want to go to Colombia.
Holiday planner, employee here.
You want to go to Peru. Basically, you want to go to anywhere South America, I will take you there myself.
Why is it why South America specifically?
I'll be a tour guide, innit?
No, but why South America specifically?
Just because nobody goes down that side of the neck of the woods, innit?
He wants a holiday and a day all rolled in together.
I said I'll be a tour guide and I'll let him be on the on the beach like Uncle G skedaddle.
Uncle G doesn't want you there. You're going to cramp his style.
I said skedaddle as in you just jog on and go on the boat or something, innit? Go on one little dinghy in and go on the pani or something, innit? It's like that. You know? I can imagine Uncle doing that. Jas, this is lovely. Over there in the ocean.
Alright, you're making me very uncomfortable.
She was comfortable. I'm close. Like going out into the freaking party in the water and stuff. Like, yo, it'd be fun there. But nobody goes outside there. Like in general, everyone just sticks to like this neck of the woods. You know, be it Europe or something or America. Or just go Canada. It's like, yo, there's so much to see out there.
I think it's an element of familiarity because in America, Canada, there is a lot of like uppity population. I think that's what it is. And with Europe, your kids can go because European holidays are cheaper than going across the world. I think it's an element of that.
And possibly language as well. Because
100%.
obviously in South America, the main language is Spanish and Portuguese. And how many of our generation or parents' generation
they might
speak
think
it?
They might think they're Spanish.
No, but, well, that's a different
that
issue.
happens a lot, actually.
Yeah,
I lived in Spain for 6 months and everybody thought I was Spanish.
People think I'm an
People,
essay.
when we went to
Like,
Italy,
bro.
people thought my brother was Italian. I thought, you're gassing him up a bit too much there, but that's a different story.
Yeah, no, someone in the past, when I went to America, when I went to Vegas and LA, they thought I was Mexican or something.
I wouldn't go that far. But anyways,
see that hate there? Just hard. Yeah, I wouldn't go that far, mate.
There's a fine line between love and hate, guys.
fine.
She's trying it there, man.
No, he's pushing it there.
I can't help it. I'm matchmaking every day.
Okay, that looks like I'm not going to be Mexican then, isn't it?
Can we all go
No worries.
together?
We can help you
No,
find
we can
some
all
nice
go.
chicas. No problem.
Not going nice. Let me just chat to my mum first, didn't it?
No, but I think also like we've got. I think Asian parents are very, dietary requirements and stuff, and like you hear all these weird stories like people eat snakes and cats and dogs in the countries. They're scared. Like they might ask for something, they might get given a dog or something to eat.
No, they do. They're safe
Like
from paneer because paneer can get out there, and definitely the other thing is the cheese there going to be suitable for them to eat? Because another thing.
What, because half of them have diabetes?
No, because when you got
Well, she won that.
I was going to say like some cheeses just taste funky.
I'm thinking
in
about
different
my own
countries.
parents.
Some cheeses just taste funky in other countries.
No, but it happens
especially how they make certain things as well.
Well, like for example, I'm a vegetarian, right? And I'm just
Was that a white lie from when?
No, it's not a white lie. He just rips me for it. So I just thought I'll give him a second. Yeah.
If you,
Alright, anyways. Yeah, he calls me like Butta Crew and Butta Gang. Anyways, whatever.
Butta basically means lettuce.
Anyways, but when I went to Spain, I was asking for vegetarian food, but I don't eat egg or fish, right? So they were like, oh yeah, vegetarian, yeah, we got egg sandwich.
I was going to say, it's very difficult in Spain to get vegetarian food.
Very, very difficult. I can't imagine our parents who have lived their life under like a comfortable, sort of like the supervision with their kids. I can't imagine them then going out thinking, do you know what, even if I do get served a cat's paw, it's all right, I'll try it. They're not going to be like that. So they it's true. So they'll be like, oh, I'd rather have my son or daughter with me to guide me through
Our
like this.
parents' generation is so versatile. They'll probably pack loads of Bronte before they even get there.
You know what? My mum, honestly, she actually said that before we flew. She said she'll just pack Bronte, and I was like, I don't want to go there. Do not go there. But then when I was on the plane, I was like, I should have let her do that.
I think a lot of having the kids there is more about responsibility and more about feeling that they must do that. Because there's always been this whole dutiful parenting role, hasn't there, in our parents' generation, and they just can't get away from that. And it's a bit sad, to be honest with you, because I feel like, at this age, our generation, we don't need, they can have their freedom back, and they should enjoy that, and they should go on date nights together.
Moral of the story.
Moral of the story is that parents should go on dates.
Yeah.
They should go to South America.
Oh, right, we all know why you want to go South America.
On dating.
I'm just letting.
Yeah, well, we know, and also get extensions.
Yeah, so if you want to basically have like an annex dungeon, a loft dungeon, an extension dungeon, And what else was there?
This channel is becoming something else now.
No,
This podcast needs to...
No, obviously, like, you like laughing, so you understand the complexity of this, you get me?
Oh,
So,
we
so-
understand, yeah.
I mean, I watched the movie.
I mean...
What movie is that?
What?
50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, so you're not about, I'm sorry, love. Have you watched the movie?
I don't even
Did
know
you,
what
did you read the book?
Sorry.
Well, you knew about it because you pointed out my t-shirt. So,
But 50... No, it's just great. I was just pointing at it because it's great.
Oh,
I don't know about what you're talking about.
Indie knows what we're talking about.
My mum and dad are watching this.
Sorry, Mark got it.
Kids. So
Anyway,
long.
thank you for your time, Shugi.
Thank
Really
you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
So if you want to basically check her out on Instagram,
Yes.
please let them know your handle.
Yeah, so it's maid_my_date on Instagram and Facebook, and we have a website too.
So if you want any help with your marriage, with dating or something, if you want to go somewhere, want to shindig somewhere, this is the lady to message. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, guys.
No problem.